There's a truth most of us aren't taught growing up. You can't fully heal until you understand the emotional legacy your mother left behind. That's not an attack, it's not blame. It's the beginning of something deeper, something Jung understood profoundly. Real healing doesn't happen by avoiding pain. It begins by facing it, especially the pain we inherited before we had the words to describe it. See, in Jungian psychology, a mother isn't just the woman who raised you. She's something much more powerful, an archetype, a symbolic figure rooted deep in your unconscious. She becomes the first mirror through which you learned what love means and what it costs. And here's the hard part. Even the most well-intentioned mother passes down patterns, not because she's cruel, but because she too was shaped by her mother, and her mother before that. What we call the mother complex isn't about what she did or didn't do on the surface. It's about how your body, your nervous system, your soul, responded to her presence or her absence. Maybe she loved you, but only when you behaved a certain way. Maybe she was always busy. Maybe she was warm but unpredictable. Or maybe she wasn't there at all, and that left a silence louder than any words. And yet, here's what no one tells us. Even if your mother wasn't around, she still lives within you. In the way you talk to yourself, in what you believe you must do to feel worthy, in how you love, how you fear, and how you cope. Many of the struggles we carry into adulthood, the fear of failure, the need to please, the guilt around rest, don't come out of nowhere. They're echoes of that first relationship. They're shaped by the rules we never agreed to, but silently absorbed. You might find yourself repeating patterns that make no logical sense, staying in relationships that hurt, pushing yourself beyond exhaustion, avoiding vulnerability at all costs. And deep down, you might still be waiting for someone, maybe even her, to finally say, "You're enough, I see you." But healing isn't about changing your mother. It's about meeting the parts of you that are still waiting and giving yourself what was missing. So where do you start? Sometimes it begins with saying what's never been said, not to her but to yourself. Write the letter. Let your younger self speak. Be messy, be honest. Let the version of you who never felt safe finally feel heard. Then listen for the voice. You know the one. The critic that says you're lazy, selfish, too much. Ask, whose voice is this really? And if it's not yours, you don't have to obey it. You can choose to speak to yourself with compassion, even if it feels unfamiliar. And perhaps the most powerful thing of all, reparent yourself. That means learning to care for yourself the way you wish someone had. Feeding yourself with intention, setting boundaries without guilt, letting joy be enough, even when it doesn't earn you anything. And no, you don't have to do this alone. There are people walking this same road. Through books, therapy, conversation, or quiet reflection, healing can be a shared journey, even if your wounds feel deeply personal. The truth is, you may never get the apology. You may never hear the words you longed for, but you don't need permission to stop carrying her pain. You don't need permission to break the cycle. You get to become the parent, the nurturer, the protector that you once needed. You don't erase the past, but you reclaim your power in the present. Because healing isn't about forgetting her. It's about remembering yourself. The self that existed before the roles, before the rules, before the fear. And maybe, for the first time, letting that self finally come home.